Okay, I think we're ready.
Yep, we're ready.
All right. So, welcome back to our webinars with Epic, with Ask Epic, because this is our first one back for this school year. School starts August 15th, so that's just next week. So, we thought we would get started with telling you all of the new things that we have to offer this year. A lot of the things have changed, of course, and usually for the better. So, we want to start off this school year with a webinar with family engagement because they are a very large department. They encompass a lot of fantastic things that we do with our Epic families. And I am Shawnee Woodruff with the Epic development team, and we're going to move forward.
Yeah, excited to be here, guys. So my name's Ashley Brown, and I work with Shawnee on the development team. We're excited to be back again for this new school year. It feels crazy. I was just talking a minute ago how fast the summer went. I cannot believe we're ready to start a new school year, but we are excited to get things going. Lots of changes, and it's going to be good to catch up today with the family engagement department and hear what they've got going on. Lots of exciting things. So we have a lot to talk about today. So they are also preparing for the Back to School Expos. So those are coming up soon, and we've got some other cool programs. So we're going to kind of just dive into that today and learn a little bit about what we can expect from the feds this year. But those of you that are joining us, we're so happy to have you. If you have questions, we want to hear them, or comments, things that you want to share. We just ask that you share them in the chat box. We will make it a point to kind of keep an eye on the chat, and we will answer, or we'll answer your questions as they come up. And again, we're happy to have you. And then if you have something that maybe you need a little more one-on-one help, or maybe it's your question doesn't necessarily have to do with what we're talking about, we would love to hear from you. Our email address is edt@epiccharterschools.org. I'm going to put that email address in the chat, so you can always reach out to us that way.
Yeah. So today we have Lauren Williams and we have Leisha Alba. Is that right? Okay. And want to make sure. And are with Family Engagement Department. So we just thank you so much for being here. And we know that the Family Engagement Department does so much to help our students and our families. So we can't wait to get into all of the questions that we have for you.
Yeah, okay, good. That was perfect. I was just putting in that thing in the chat box. So, okay, so we're gonna get started. Like I mentioned a minute ago, we're gonna with it being August and with the first day of school coming up, we have the back to school expos. So those are a lot of fun, and there's a lot to learn about that. So we're gonna kind of dive in there to get started. So Leisha, could you tell me, why should families attend these back to school expos?
Well, our expos are designed for both new and veteran EPIC families, caregivers, and students. So they will learn valuable information about the upcoming school year. They'll also get information about programs and organizations and extracurriculars that their students can get involved in, as well as information and resources. And also, they'll be meeting other EPIC families, other EPIC caregivers and students. So it's a really great time to have those engagement opportunities and come together as an EPIC community.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really fun time, kind of just like meet the teacher night, where you get to see all your friends that you maybe haven't seen all summer. It's a fun opportunity. So I know one thing that I think is cool is that there's not just one expo, they're all across the state. So can you tell us a little bit about where they can expect these expos to take place?
Absolutely. We have 7 expos for this back to school open house circuit. The first is August 20th in Oklahoma City. Second, we'll have another one that same week in Lawton on August 22nd at the FBC Lawton Church. Then we'll be in Glenpool on the 29th at the Glenpool Conference Center, as well as September 3rd, we'll be in Ardmore. September 5th, we'll be at Quest Church in Norman. And then following that in September, we'll be at OSU Tulsa and then Enid at Autry Tech. So if there's an expo that's full as far as registration, you're welcome to come and join us at another one. But if we're coming to your area, we'd love to see you. So please come join us.
Yeah, that's great. And I just thought while you were sharing that, I went and grabbed the link with all of the different dates and locations and the signups as well. So that link is in the chat if you're interested. So can you tell us what exactly can they expect to do at the expo, the parents and the students?
Okay. Well, first of all, just so you know, there's a lot of fun activities for students at the expo. We have interactive fun lessons and activities planned. Nick Waters will be teaching a history lesson that has to do with space. We'll also have science classes where they'll do hands-on activities, a culture experience class, and some other game classes. So our students will be involved in those sessions while our caregivers will be in our general sessions and our breakout sessions. So during our general sessions, we'll have Ben Finkbeiner will be there, and he'll be visiting with us about merge cubes and STEM for the upcoming school year. And then also we'll have Angela Kel Mendoza. She'll be there doing an AI or artificial intelligence presentation and just talking to families and caregivers about ways that they can integrate AI into their school, and then things also to look out for and just places that they can go that are safe that they can also utilize the program. But she's amazing. And we'll also have some other general information to be shared just about EPIC, about our departments, our programs. And we will have numerous EPIC department representatives there that are so excited to talk to families and students about what they're offering this upcoming school year. Things like student clubs, EPIC tutoring, health services, counseling, you name it. They will be there, and they're excited to see all of our families and students. And we'll also have some health and wellness checks. At some of our sites, we'll have in Oklahoma City, Lawton, Ardmore, and Norman, we will have the health checks. And so at most of them, we'll have the vision or the dental screening and the fluoride treatments. And these are free. There's no insurance, no cost to our families. But a few of the other sites, let me see, Lawton will also have vision screenings and sports physicals. Ardmore will also have sports physicals. So there'll be some opportunity for families to get these services. Also, we will have a Scholastic Book Fair in Oklahoma City, our Glenpool, and our Norman location in North Tulsa, OSU Tulsa. School pictures will also be on site. Families will have swag bags and giveaways. So we're excited about that. That's always fun. The door prizes are a big hit. But overall, families should just leave with tools, materials, and information that empower them for the next school year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be really fun. And it's neat for the kids to get to go around and see all the different clubs and things that they could potentially join, kind of just a little drive-by of things to see what's available. I know I loved that last year, watching some of the kids get to check out all the tables. Okay, so a couple things you mentioned. You mentioned the book fairs. So, and then you mentioned with the health screenings, those are completely free. But is there anything else that families might need to bring money for?
The book fair is a no cash book fair. So they do take credit cards. So anyone can come to the book fair and look at the books. But if you want to buy something, and they also have little trinkets and bookmarkers and things like little kids or students love. So if you want to purchase something there, you will need to have a credit card to do that. So but there's I think there's no money needed for this. Everything is absolutely free unless you want to buy something from the Scholastic Book Fair.
Awesome. Thank you. And then another follow-up question about going, can we bring siblings, or is it only EPIC students that are allowed to attend?
So yes, families can bring, like if they have a young sibling. I know sometimes families have babies or younger children and they need to bring them. That is okay as long as they stay with the caregiver during the entire day. So all the programs and activities that we offer are for EPIC students, but we do understand that some of our families have siblings and they need to bring them with them. So as long as they stay with their family or their caregiver, then that will be okay.
Wonderful. Thank you. And then my last question for you about the expos, you mentioned registering. Can you tell us how they can register and kind of why that's important for you guys?
Yes. So at our different communication outlets, like on the website or our school calendar, or maybe in the Orbit or email. I know that a lot of communication has gone out. So whatever format that you're receiving that, there is a registration link in Humanitix. So they will click on that link and just fill out all the information. We do ask that families, caregivers be careful when they're filling out the student ID. That is important for us to have. So, and if anyone needs any help, they're welcome to reach out to our team and we will help you with registration. But yeah, so they just fill out that Humanitix registration and they're enrolled.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. And then, we're really excited for these expos. They're a super fun event, a great chance to get to see other students, get to learn more about what all is going on, and kind of just get excited for the school year. So we can't wait. We hope that those of you watching that you can attend one of our expos. They're just such a great opportunity to get prepared for what's to come. And the Family Engagement Department, you guys are responsible for so many of our activities here at EPIC. So we're really excited to dive into really just kind of a taste of what you guys do, because like I said, it is so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to Lauren now. So Lauren, so as Ashley just said, you guys do so much. It's really hard to know everything that there is going on out there all the time. So that's why we're doing these webinars, is so that we can kind of help teach people where to go find the information, the calendar, all those types of things. So we're going to talk to you a little bit more about the different family engagement coaching department, which has like Epic Beginnings, the tutoring, social engagement. So this year, it looks like that we have a little more going on with tutoring. And so could you just tell us a little bit more about the program for tutoring?
Absolutely. Yeah. So for the last couple of years, we've been launching a program called Peer Tutoring. We are rebranding that. This year, you'll see it everywhere as Epic Tutoring. It's a little bit more encompassing of our entire population. And our students meet with a tutor a couple times a week in either reading or math, based on what their teacher enrolls them in. And we've seen a lot of growth with this program. We've seen a lot of high attendance percentages with this program because there's a lot of bonding. You meet with the same tutor each time for the 6 to 8 weeks that you're in the program each semester.
Yeah, and we have had a lot of success with that program. I was a former Epic teacher, and I actually had students who were in the tutoring program, and it was wonderful. They had a lot of great experience with that. So I'm really thankful for that program. Another great program that you can tell us about is the Epic Beginnings. And so our families that are already enrolled and they have students who are younger but not yet able to go to school yet, we have a program for that called Epic Beginnings. What do we offer with Epic Beginnings?
We do. So can we back up for just 1 second?
Sure.
Because I wanted to say a couple more things about our Epic Tutoring really fast. I just wanted to let everybody know that we're partnering with 5 universities this year, and we're partnering with their education department. So a lot of our tutors are future teachers. And then we're also, of course, using a lot of our Epic students, our high achieving Epic students. So we would just really recommend that you keep an eye out. You'll get an email to all staff about that and how to enroll.
Yeah, I think that is new this year, which is fantastic. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. That was something that we were gonna skip over there. So I'm glad you went back and brought that up. Was there something else?
No, that's all on that. I just wanted to throw that in there before we move to Epic Beginnings, but I'm so passionate about Epic Beginnings. It's a program that is brand new to Epic. It's for our birth through school age students. We don't put a top number on that because we realize that school age looks different for each family. Some students go to pre-K, some do not. So we just say birth through school age programs. We're working with a lot of students' siblings that are their sibling is an EPIC student. We also are working with a lot of student parents who are maybe an EPIC student, but are also raising their own child. So this year we're offering coffee talks. Those are going to be called Play and Learns, and they're really just play groups for these families to come together and meet with Shalina, talk about developmentally appropriate activities. There's activities there for the students. And those little ones can just play and work with the activity of the month, and parents get a chance to connect there. And those are throughout the state of Oklahoma. And we also have resource fairs coming up this year. We really try to work with all of our families to put them in touch with the services that are available to them, such as WIC or Sooner Start, different programs out there working with early intervention for these students.
Yeah, that is great. That's
yeah.
great. Yeah, and that's kind of a newer program for EPIC, and it's been going really, really well. And I think it's great that we have something to offer for our students that are not quite students yet, you know, but maybe they'll come to us whenever they get to that point. So that'll be great.
And I'm so excited too about our parenting class that's coming up.
Yeah.
This is our first year to be able to offer that. So teachers can actually enroll their students in a parenting portfolio class this year. It's called Positive Parenting. Teachers just need to reach out to their GSS and add that to their student schedule. But that is designed for students who are either expecting or currently raising their own child, or moms or dads. And we really encourage both. And that's a class to help them get credit for what they're already doing.
Yeah, great. Okay. Yeah, that's a great addition. Love that. So, all right. So moving along to social engagement area. So we do have some information that we're going to ask you to share to families so that they can just kind of be aware of the interactions they can have with others during the school year, because I know that's one thing that families do kind of worry about a little bit during the school year, is just having that social interaction. So could you just share with us a little bit about what we offer in that regards?
Sure. And I love that you have this slide.
Yeah.
So in September, we do have these game nights that we're calling them EPIC's Got Game. Those are designed for our families to come together with all of their EPIC students, siblings, everybody, and just play together. Some of those are in the day, some of those are in the evenings, but they're all of those are in conjunction with different co-ops throughout the state. So we're really trying to meet that need and bring that social aspect to as many families as we can. Same with October, and then you'll see in December, we have the EPIC's Got Talent show. If you had the opportunity to see that last year, it was such a hit that we're doing two. So we're doing one in Oklahoma City and one in Tulsa this year. We had so much incredible talent. We had, I would say, well over 1,000 people in attendance, and it was just a wonderful night to celebrate our students and what they offer and their amazing gifts. And then in April, we have kindergarten graduations coming up again. This will be our second year to do kindergarten graduations. Those are the cutest thing. We really enjoyed that. And then my personal favorite is our end of year celebrations. We had a huge crowd at both of these celebrations last year. We are hoping to have a huge crowd this coming year as well, but we have games and food trucks and inflatables and cotton candy, popcorn, everything. And the only thing that costs are the food trucks. Everything else we provide for our students is just for free. They just come and enjoy.
Yeah, that is great. I've been to a few of those, and that is fun. I've been to a few of those things that you've just mentioned, and they are all really, really entertaining and fun for the whole family. So could you maybe tell everybody, how can the students sign up or participate for these events?
Sure. So on the EPIC website under family engagement, you can go and you can sign up and register with the Humanitics. You can also usually find all of our events in the Orbit, which is the monthly school newsletter, on the website as well.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And then I think on that website, it probably will tell you also where those are being held, but on this
Yeah.
on that slide that she was just showing, it had the towns or the cities that they were at as well. So
Yes.
so that's great. Yeah, well, thanks for all that information. That is, there's always a lot of information, and there's way more than that than what we just shared with you, but you're welcome to look at the things that are on the website, and it can tell you a lot more information.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then I also wanted to mention that link I shared a few minutes ago for the Epic Charter Schools field trips. I think the signups for these events are on there as well. Is that correct, Lauren? They're on that field trips. Okay. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, it's all these signups for basically all of these events. From what I understand, are pretty much all in this one place. So that's kind of nice. I like that it's all there together. It's simple and easy. If you're ever thinking, we're kind of bored this week. What do we want to do? Or we're kind of bored in let's plan ahead, right? I know the feds want us to say we're planning ahead. We're kind of bored in 3 weeks. What do we want to do? You just click on that link and you can definitely find something. So we're really excited about that. All right, so we're going to move on. So EPIC really encourages our students to get involved in their communities. That's something that we talk about a lot. And again, I love that EPIC walks the walk. And so we encourage our students to find ways to get active in their local communities, like their towns, but also across the state. So that looks like sometimes volunteering and kind of some other things as well. So again, you guys, the Family Engagement Department, you play a large role in facilitating this as well. So let's just kind of talk a little bit about what community service, let's start with that, Leisha, if you don't mind, talking about what community service looks like at EPIC. How often throughout the year can students find community service opportunities?
So we have community service opportunities all school year long. Sorry about that. That was a little tongue twister. But these opportunities start in September. And so we have 2 community service opportunities planned again throughout the state twice a month. So they can find those on the EPIC website, in the Orbit, on the EPIC calendar, any one of our communication portals, I guess is what you would call it. But anyway, yeah, we love community service. We also have community outreach programs throughout the year as well.
Awesome. And so, yeah, you just kind of mentioned if you're wanting to get involved with some of these community service projects, they can all be found on like that link on the EPIC website. And then also, goodness, the Orbit. I keep wanting to say the Comet. That's why like it sticks in my head. In the Orbit, that's another great place. So if you're interested in that, please check out that website and look for a link to get signed up. Let's see. And then what if are there ever any, because we get asked this a lot, because everybody hears EPIC is an online charter school. They always want to hear, are there ever any sort of online opportunities for community service?
We sometimes have some connections that we build online, like through our clubs, our student clubs, and they meet up together. I know Lauren's nodding her head. She's been very involved in that. So virtually, sometimes they'll have some opportunities there, or even just through our clubs, they brainstorm together online opportunities that they want to explore. But we do have we offer do-it-yourself make and take projects. So these are located in Tulsa at the Logan Building office. We have a shelf set up there. So if students would like to check out a make and take community service project and do it from home, they can do that. There's also going to be another site at 50 Penn Place at the office here. And so they can also check those out here. So if they're not able to join us at our different locations on site, for various reasons, they can still participate that way. Also, students, if they need help finding volunteer opportunities in their community, I'm sure their teachers are happy to help them with that. I'm a former EPIC teacher. I loved it when students reached out to me and asked me for volunteer suggestions. Charla Conaway is over our community service and community outreach program. She's happy to help with that, as well as our EPALs or anyone on our team. Again, we value community service and we just want to help students get connected in that way because there is so much value that comes from that type of engagement and participation and just giving back to their community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so one that I know we heard about a lot this past year, and I'm hoping you can kind of share with us because I feel like it was a big success, was the Hugs Project. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we love the Hugs Project. We are doing that again this fall. Again, that is Charlotte Conaway and Jessica Murphy as well. So we have service members that are deployed and overseas, and sometimes they don't have access to essential items, or, you know, sometimes it's just nice to receive a care package. So we fill boxes full of care package items, things like socks, coffee, hygiene items, just like flavored water, like there's all kinds of different things that people send in that we fill these boxes full and we ship them overseas so that our military service members have something to open, and it lets them know that we care about them and we're thinking about them, and it keeps them connected as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of opportunities for that. Or I felt like I heard of a lot of opportunities with the
Yeah.
Hugs Project last year.
Yes, and I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's also, so not only are there opportunities for donating items, but also caregivers, staff, anyone can donate as well, because we do ship the boxes and that does cost money. So we do raise money that goes directly to the shipping cost.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's good to know. And then this is a question I didn't have written down, but I just thought of this. I know that kind of the something I wanted to clarify is that when you guys are setting up these community service events, you do kind of take into account, yes, location, making sure that there's opportunities around the state, but you also kind of take into consideration age as well. Like some things are maybe better suited for our older kids and some things might be better for younger. Is that right?
That is right. And again, Charla, she's very intentional about planning. And so she does try to plan something for everyone. So, but there are some situations where that community service project is for older students, like the food bank. I know that they usually aim toward middle school, high school students, some of our older population. But yes, and also she is very intentional about getting out across the state and giving all of our students the opportunity to participate in our community service.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely a word that comes to mind. And I think of you guys is intentionality. There is so much intention behind everything you guys do. And I think it's really awesome. Okay, so yeah, so let's move on then. We've kind of talked about, oh, this is a fun one. I'm excited for this one. So yes, we want to see our students getting involved with community service, but I think another great way for them to get involved in their community is just to get out there and see what's out there. And so a lot of that happens through our field trips. And I don't know that families always realize how much is available to them. You guys set up some incredible field trips, again, all across the state. So this is a fun opportunities for kids to meet new friends, to learn something new in an engaging, like a different environment from home, and then also just to kind of get out there and see what's out there in the world around them. So could you tell me a little bit more about what types of field trips you guys have put together for students?
Sure. Yeah, we have numerous and a variety of field trips. Bree Davison plans these. And sometimes we visit local museums. Some of the museums are large, like in Oklahoma City or the Tulsa area. And then we go to some of the rural museums, which are super fun. We love to go to our parks and recreation areas. We do lots of hiking. We've been to Robbers Cave. We love to do science sites and different activities there. But when we also do art, so we try to make sure that we're covering and creating field trip experiences that involve all of the different subjects of learning so that they are getting that hands-on experience. We also, Bree carefully plans classes for our students. So oftentimes they're not just going to a museum, Sometimes the curators they're dressed up as a character from history, and they may do a 30-second lesson. And I'm telling you, when these kids are listening to someone who's dressed up in character, has the dialect, and just is super excited about what they're sharing, and the learning is amazing, and their eyes are glued and you can't tear them away. And then once it's over, if you talk to them about it, they can tell you everything about this person in history, whereas before going in, they probably hadn't heard of them. So they just really bring it to life. But all of our field trips are a lot of fun. It's an excellent opportunity for students to get to know other students in their area. And I will say this too, many of our families will drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to go to a field trip as well. So it's not just students in their area, but it's also students across the state. And then the caregivers also have an opportunity to get to know other caregivers and EPIC families. So it's just, there's so many different ways that it is valuable for students and their learning, but also just again, for growing and getting to know your EPIC community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you kind of already said this, but again, those field trips are planned all across the state, throughout the school year. It's not just like you're going to be in this one area one time a year. Like you guys are, you're here, there, and everywhere. And yeah, I know of some families, some EPIC families, that they make it a point once a month to do a field trip. And yeah, they usually try to pick something that's out and they make a whole day of it. And I think that is so fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, it's really neat. And just to get out and do something different. And that's one of the benefits of Epic, right? You have the opportunity to do things like that. So I love that. So again, just like, I mean, I'm gonna say it again. I think Shawnee have mentioned this, we've mentioned this a few times, but signing up again, same thing. It's gonna be that link, whether that's in the Orbit or on the website, same thing. Make sure to register, because spots will fill up for these. Is that correct?
That is correct. And also, if you need to cancel, um, even if it's last minute, just go ahead and cancel that registration, because oftentimes we have families that are waiting, and they're just hoping a spot will open up. So if you do have to cancel, we don't care if it's last minute, just go ahead and cancel, because again, that opens up a spot for someone else. But yeah, just come join us. I think, sometimes we have students that are a little bit shy, and they'll come to some of our activities or our field trips, and we do try to help them kind of, get kind of involved. But once they get there and they kind of acclimate, they just really tend to have a good time and walk away with some friendships.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, okay, I have two more questions for you about field trips. Is there typically a cost involved with these field trips, or what can families expect?
So many of our field trips are free for entry fees. We do have scholarships for students. So we do have some classes that have a fee. And then there's there's some classes that we offer do have a fee and some don't. If they do have a fee and a family needs help, or a student needs help with that fee, we have scholarships available, so that the same opportunity is available to all of our students, no matter what. So we do have scholarships. We just ask that when they register, that they fill that out, that they need a scholarship. And when they're there, they'll just let one of our team members know, and we will make sure that they're on that scholarship list. But everyone can participate.
Wonderful. And what about siblings? Is there ever a time where they can't bring siblings?
Um, we cannot pay for siblings,
Mhm.
obviously, unless they're enrolled in EPIC. So they do have to be an EPIC student, and this goes for our caregivers and parents as well. If they bring a sibling, they would have to pay for them. And there are situations where this facility maybe only holds 30, and if we have 30 signed up, it just wouldn't be ideal. So a lot of those smaller locations, we don't necessarily encourage them to bring a sibling just because of lack of space or
Mm.
capacity, and we have to make sure that we're careful about that. So our numbers, when we are sending out registration, and there is a numbers cap that is for that reason. And some of our larger sites, like the zoo, where you're not going to have a capacity necessarily, then it would be okay for them to come. Again, they would just have to pay their way. If there is a class, though, we would have to just limit that class to EPIC students only.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, and it's about, making it available to as many of our EPIC students as we can. We want everybody to be able to participate. Well, thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna one more thing from you today, Alicia, I think. So we also like to offer a chance for students to enrich their learning by their enrichment activities. So what type of, can you talk to us about what the enrichment activities are?
So first we'll have our Epic Spelling Bees coming up in October. So we'll have our spelling bee competitions in Oklahoma City and Tulsa, and then we'll have our finalists, and then they'll try to compete to go on to the semifinals. And then also in November, we have our science enrichment, science fair, STEAM, and Math Quest Day. And this is a lot of fun for students. Will they come together? Are you pulling up the screen?
Yeah.
Thank you. They'll come together, and it's just a lot of fun. Of course, as I'm sure you know, the Science Fair STEAM Day has a focus on science and math. We will have a math quest with games and just activities that are geared toward that, as well as students will have instructions and guidelines on how to do their science fair experiments, and they'll bring those to and be able to present that. And then we will also have some winners for that competition. But overall, it's just a lot of fun, and it's a great way for them to learn and have hands-on experience with science and math. In January, we'll have a virtual writers workshop where we'll have some guest authors who will be teaching our writing workshops to students online. So for those that can't join in person, this is a great opportunity for them to participate. We'll also have our International Academic Bees. Those competitions are online as well, and those start in January. In February, we have Read Across America along with our Wax Museum. Or sorry, oops, it's not Read Across America. I was thinking America and then History Day. So I got ahead of myself. I apologize. It will be our Wax Museum and our History Day. So we love the Wax Museum activity. It is so much fun. So students get to dress up as a historic figure, and then they come in character. They usually have a board with all kinds of pictures or drawings, and they get to present, and it's so much fun for everyone. And we'll also kind of have more of an immersive history day that during that time. We will have our Literacy Day in March, and those will also be Read Across America. So there's a literature ELA focus, as well as Dr. Seuss's birthday. So that's a lot of fun. But all of these are geared toward learning and our different learning subjects, but we also have fun while doing it.
Yeah, I have to share, last year I got to go to the spelling bee in Oklahoma City, and I know it was a learning event. I get that, but I'm telling you, I had so much fun. I was like on the edge of my seat. It was so fun. I seriously had a blast. I loved watching all the kids. I was trying to spell with them. They put me to shame. They were way better spellers than me. It was so much
They are
fun.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
I agree.
it's a learning event, but I'm telling you, it was fun. And then the Wax Museum, if you have an elementary kiddo, put them in the Wax Museum event because it's the cutest thing you'll ever see. I love getting to see what these kids come up with, and you learn a lot too. But again, it's just so fun and so cute to see all these kids. They get so into it, and their costumes are amazing. It's just a lot of fun. So I know this is about learning, but I'm telling you, if you haven't ever been to any of these events, they're a lot of fun as well.
Yes, learning can be fun.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So, and again, I was going to ask where are these events held at, but you saw on the screen, they're everywhere. We try to be here, there, and everywhere. So I love that there's so many different opportunities. I know once upon a time, it might have been just Oklahoma City or just Tulsa, but as you guys have grown, you've done a great job of making sure to include people from all across the state. And I think that's so exciting so that everybody has a chance to participate. So I hope that if you haven't, even if you don't want to participate, maybe you have a kiddo who's a little bit shy and not quite ready to get up on stage. I totally get that. At least just go just to watch, because I promise you these things are really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
I attended one of those wax museums last year as well, and it was really fun to see that. And the kids go through a lot of trouble, to do this. They prepare a lot, and so it's really cool. I would definitely enjoy seeing that again this year. So I love all those events. All right, so Lauren, let's go to some student and family services. So we have a lot of, well, we just have students that have the best outcomes. They have teacher engagement, they have parent engagement, and they are just really committed to learning. So one way that we strive to achieve that engagement is through our ePals. So can you tell us what an ePal is?
Yes. So EPAL stands for Epic Parents as Liaisons, and these are family engagement employees who also have their own child in Epic. So they're able to come at every issue and everything that we do from a perspective of both parent and employee. And their job is to help our families navigate Epic. And they're there for you guys. So we would just encourage you to reach out and email. You can just choose one and email that ePal, and they will get back to you and help answer your questions. And if they don't know, they'll find out who does, and they'll send you in the right direction.
All right. So that is really good to know. Does every family get an ePal, did you say, or is that only for specific families or students?
Every parent is served by our ePals. There's no limits on that. And we just,
Okay.
yeah, any parent, we just suggest you reach out to an ePal if you have any questions.
Okay, that's great. And where can we expect to see ePals at? Are they at any of these events or anything that we go to?
Yes, they are at all of the events, at least one of them, usually many of them throughout the state of Oklahoma. And they also live throughout the state of Oklahoma. So we have local EPATs everywhere, just about.
Yeah, I noticed last year at some of the events, I live in the Tulsa area. I noticed that there was always an ePal, at least one there that usually lived in the area, but not always. So that was really neat. I got to meet a few of those last year and they were really, really nice.
Yeah, great.
So what would be the best way for them to connect with an ePal or to get an ePal?
So email is their very best bet, and you can find their email addresses on our website under family engagement.
Okay. Under family engagement on the website. There we get again, we have a wonderful website that is full of information. So we definitely want to use that. We do have a lot of things that we've touched on today. We're going to have other webinars in the future, but about different things. But we do have a lot of important things that we like to cover with all of our Ask Epics. And the family engagement department is, you all work so hard at assisting all of our families with all of these great things. I wanted to mention one more thing, and I'm not sure if Leisha or Lauren want to answer this, but we welcome all walks of life. We have everyone at Epic. And so we want to know, do we have anyone that can assist our families who may have just recently come to the United States and or maybe just doesn't speak good English?
Absolutely. Our team, we have a team, and they serve our immigrant students, our newcomer students, as well as any students needing language and translation services. And they can reach out to our team at languageservices@gmail.com, or they can reach out to Misty Klein and she can connect them. But they are very passionate about helping these families, connecting them to resources and coming alongside them so that they understand the ins and outs of Epic and just how to do Epic. It is a little bit different, and it can be overwhelming at first if you're transitioning from just another school, but especially if you're transitioning from another country. So they want to support. And we also have a team of contractors. They are amazing. So some of our contractors are Spanish speaking, Russian speaking, and we have some that serve our Afghan families and our Pashto, they're Pashto translators. So any translation, interpretation, language services, immigrant services, newcomer services, our team is happy to help. And if it's not something we provide, then we'll also help connect them with who can assist within our school as well as in their community. They connect them to resources in their community because oftentimes like we have newcomers who may just they may need something like food, and clothing and bedding, and our team will surround them and help pull those resources together. So we just love these families, and we want to help support not just the students, but the families as well.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Yeah, and it truly is about there's so much more to Epic than just a kid going through getting the lessons and getting their grades and all of that. Like we really do try to serve the student as a whole and the family as a whole. And I think that's just so unique. I don't think you hear that very often. So this is really cool. So I do want to mention, I think maybe Shawnee, you kind of did, but you guys do a lot and there is so much to cover that we just can't fit it all into one day. So we do have the intention of getting with some people from your department again, probably here soon, to learn more about Epic Beginnings, maybe learn some more about peer tutoring and several other things. So we have more to come with the family engagement department. Thank goodness. So stay tuned for that. But we are so proud of everything that this team is doing to support our families. They put so much time and effort and like you said, Leisha, intention behind what they're doing to create these events and these outreach opportunities to best serve our students. And so I hope that those of you watching today have learned something new and are going to take advantage. I mean, even of just one of these things that we shared about, that would be great. But thank you, Lauren and Leisha, for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking time. I know it's a crazy time of year with school getting ready to start back. So we really appreciate you taking the time out to talk more with us.
Thank you.
You. We appreciate you for having us.
Yes.
Okay, so and then if you still have any questions about anything we've discussed today, you are welcome to reach out to our team and we can someone from Shawnee and I's team can answer that, or we might just have to pass you along over here to Leisha and Lauren, but we can get you connected with what you need if you have some questions about what we've talked about today. And again, our email address is there in the chat. It's edt@epiccharterschools.org. We would love to help get you connected, get you where you've got to be. Maybe we're going to get you connected with an EPAL. We would love to help with that. Or if you have questions about enrolling, you are welcome to reach out to us for that as well. So next week, we're going to be talking about Epic's curriculum, Epic Ed. So please come back next week and join us for that, and have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks.